AI Innovation Virtual Share Fair. This webinar will be recorded. My name is Hillary Kalay, and I am the co-chair of the UCAI Council Subcommittee on Transparency. I am pleased to welcome you all to the UCAI Council Virtual Share Fair. Today, we will be hearing about 3 innovative uses of artificial intelligence in our UC community from Adam Getchell at UC Davis, Anna Ahearn and Krithik Udayashankar at UCLA, and Diana Cox and Stefan Tomic at Risk and Safety Solutions. This share fair is part of the AI Council's effort to promote transparency regarding UC's development and implementation of AI. And we could not have done this without the incredible work and support from the 3 presenting groups today. As part of their preparation for the share fair, we have asked each of the 3 projects presenting today to complete an AI label, which we'll be piloting as a type of nutrition label, which aims to provide information about the product that you'll be hearing about, its intended uses, cautioned out-of-scope uses, its uses of identifiable information, any known biases, as well as other information about the tool. Here, I'm showing you the template of the first page of this AI label. In addition to information about the tool, after the presentation today, you will each receive the AI label for each of the tools we will hear more about today. We welcome your comment on the AI tool, the AI label, its utility, how we can improve it, and how you think it can be operationalized to promote greater transparency in the development and deployment of AI at UC. Now, I'll give you a sense of the agenda for today. For the first part of the share fair, we will hear a summary presentation about each of the 3 tools that are part of the share fair. Then you will have the opportunity to join a breakout room to learn about one of these tools in more detail. After that, we will return together briefly for a short wrap-up. So with that, first we will hear about Pose AI from Stefan.
Hi everyone, my name is Stefan Tomic, and today I'm going to talk about Pose AI. Pose AI is a tool that aims to assist ergonomic evaluations at the University of California. Some of the goals of Pose AI include improving ergonomic evaluation accuracy, assisting ergonomists with their workload, making ergonomic assessments more widely available. Next slide, please. So I wanted to start with a quote from the person who coined the term ergonomics in the 19th century. And while a little wordy and archaic, it expresses 2 important goals of workplace ergonomics that are embodied in Pose AI. And those are to improve the well-being of workers in general, while also improving productivity of the workforce. Next slide, please. So how can AI help with ergonomics? Well, first of all, ergonomists have a large volume of assessments. This means that they often need to triage ergonomic assessments and handle the most severe cases first. They may not get to a number of cases. Secondly, there are challenges working with remote workers, especially since COVID, with a number of increased remote workers. Ergonomists can't visit workers at their home work area, making ergonomic assessments more challenging. Also, because of the large volume of assessments, details may be missed or mistakes made. Finally, there are a number of ergonomic assistant applications, but they're often not user-friendly or error-prone. And on the right is shown a screenshot of a couple of the Pose AI interfaces as we're looking at a video as it estimates the posture of an office worker and provides a risk scoring graph below. Next slide, please. So Pose AI has been a journey that we're still on, and how did it start? Well, in 2023, we developed a proof of concept that demonstrated the ability to calculate RULA scores. Now, RULA, which stands for Rapid Upper Limb Assessment, is a standard scoring system that's used by ergonomists for calculating ergonomic risk. And the proof of concept was demonstrated at various conferences in 2023 and 24. And this sparked interest from environmental health and safety leadership. And in 2024, we started a partnership with the Center for Occupational and Environmental Health, led by Dr. Carissa Harris. COEH is at the forefront of ergonomic research today, and having their expert input and feedback has been invaluable in helping us make a tool that is reliable with real ergonomist input and feedback. And we plan on piloting the tool in the second half of 2025. Next slide, please. So as with any tool, there are important considerations to make with respect to UC responsible AI principles. Some of the applicable use cases include that we want to make sure that efficiency is increased without sacrificing accuracy or increasing workload. While tools may allow us to take on a higher volume of work, we want to make sure that this doesn't also mean that accuracy doesn't suffer, that the accuracy suffers, or that the ergonomist now has a heavier workload. We want to make sure that the ergonomist is in the middle of AI and the end user. This ensures that the model output is reviewed for accuracy and completeness before being sent to an end user, and we aren't sacrificing these aspects. And while the developers of the underlying technology that we use, and it's developed by MediaPipe by Google, they claim that the model was trained on a diverse population. After some research, we found that either there's not enough detail or there's not enough rigor in how this was done. And we have started our own investigation into this area and plan to conduct our own evaluation of the model to alleviate these concerns. Also, while videos may contain sensitive or private information that is not necessary for the ergonomic assessments, and examples include contents of computer monitors, other people that may be in the environment, or even visible health conditions of the end user. And because of this, we want to handle videos carefully and delete the videos after processing them with Pose AI. We want to make sure that the application is widely available. And since we'll be including it with our UC-wide ergonomic assessment program, our goal is to make this tool available to all users, but only as an optional tool. And we want to make sure that we incorporate feedback from professional ergonomists as well as end users. So some of the upfront investments include lots of experimentation and research. A lot of research was necessary to make sure that we're producing accurate risk scores and providing a functionality that is truly useful to ergonomists. In order to develop a production-ready application, we need to follow best practices for ensuring security and availability of our application. Some of the long-term values include more rapid assessments. So calculating a RULA score, I've heard, can take anywhere between, could take 20 to 30 minutes, or it could take an hour or possibly more, depending on how specific the ergonomist gets. Pose AI can provide these measurements within a couple of minutes, saving the ergonomist lots of time and allowing them to more quickly process assessments. The RULA score involves a lot of calculations of different body parts, and so automating this can improve accuracy. Assessments can be made more available, as the ergonomist doesn't have to visit their workers in their remote work area. And overall, greater availability and accuracy leads to greater worker health and improved productivity. And in the end, this also results in an overall cost savings at the university, as we're preventing ergonomic related injuries. So when developing new technologies, there are always many challenges. And so AI models always have limitations. And one limitation that we've come across is that pose estimation isn't always accurate at estimating three-dimensional coordinates on a two-dimensional image or video. We also need to determine the level of accuracy needed. So for RULA calculations, we don't always have to be really precise. So we need to make sure that we're investing the appropriate amount of time in refining our calculations. We need to ensure that the application is accessible and user-friendly. We want to get ergonomous and user feedback early so that we can iterate and improve on earlier versions of the tool. This can be challenging as it's hard to engage with ergonomists and end users before you have a completed product. Finally, there's a growing resistance to AI. People are concerned that AI is endangering their jobs, or they don't understand it, or it's hype. And these are warranted concerns. We want to make sure to address them and make a tool that's truly useful while being transparent and not taking away any value from the ergonomic assessment process. Thank you very much. And I look forward to demonstrating Pose AI to you during this webinar.
Thanks so much, Stefan. That was really interesting to hear about. Next, we will hear from Adam Getchell about policy.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adam Getchell. And as a unit information security lead, I'm having a lot of conversations with chairs, CAOs, faculty, and staff regarding the UC Cybersecurity Mandate 2025, IS3 policies, and their implementation. Regarding particular details, should I look at UCOP or my campus? Is it a policy, a procedure, or just common practice? Faculty often ask very pointed questions. We've developed a tool that's proven to be handy, Policy Wonk, which I'm here to tell you more about today. Next slide, please. At its heart, Policy Wonk is a very simple application. You type in a question about policy, and Policy Wonk will search its sources for the answer. If it finds relevant information for your question, it will provide an answer as well as citations to the sources it used to provide that answer. If it does not find relevant information, it says so and stops. This simplicity is by design. We don't want Policy Wonk to hallucinate answers, so we instruct it to only provide information that can be sourced. You might notice the focus filter above the text box. You can use that to select the information sources that are relevant to your query. Currently, those sources are 1, UC and UC Davis PPM, PPSM, and delegations of authority, 2, the Academic Personnel Manual, 3, UCOP union contracts, and 4, the UC Davis knowledge base. Next slide, please. If your campus allows access to Policy Wonk, we can work with you to provide your campus-specific information. Next slide, please. We've had very positive response to the tool. We've heard that it is a reliable and trusted resource that saves an enormous amount of staff and faculty time and effort. Next slide, please. In general, we find that the tool has come to be trusted as a fast and accurate source of policy information. We're really glad that Policy Wonk is helping our staff and faculty make better informed decisions. Next slide, please. At the inaugural UC system-wide academic conference on artificial intelligence, searching and analyzing policy was one of the first use cases the panelists mentioned. This in particular is tailor-made for AI. There are thousands and thousands of pages of policy and contract information that business, HR, legal, financial, and even faculty members need to interact with, sometimes on a daily basis. Next bullet point, please. You can think of AI as a super reader. It is extremely good at reading and digesting vast amounts of textual information. Next bullet point, please. Furthermore, because our AI understands the semantics of what it's looking for, it provides much better results than the keyword searches that everyone uses today. For example, today, a keyword search on scholarly and aesthetic works gets 0 results, but that same search in Policy Wonk will turn up a focused answer and citation to a policy. Next slide, please. Sorry. My lead programmer, Scott Kirkland, first did this as a fun project written as a Slack bot early in 2024. The demand became so overwhelming that we refactored it into a web application. That brought exposure and, understandably, lots of questions. We work with our business, legal, and HR partners to answer questions like, what is the intended use for the tool? To provide clear and concise answers to policy questions. What are the sources of information? Campus policy resources as outlined previously. What are the privacy safeguards? We have a published privacy policy thanks to our campus privacy officer. How do we handle information with OpenAI anonymously? What are our data retention policies? Same as the UC-wide OpenAI contract. That is, no data is shared or retained by OpenAI or used in future training of OpenAI models. Who is responsible for the information it provides? Disclaimer, questions about policy content should be directed to the responsible department. Next slide, please. Our main use case is to provide fast and accurate answers while giving information so that folks know who and where to consult if they have detailed questions of the policyholder. This is one reason we do not provide a conversational interface, for example. We don't want to give OpenAI the ability to make up an answer. We also use the OpenAI content filter to avoid answering questions that include, for example, hate, violence, or self-harm. Anecdotally, this has greatly assisted faculty and staff in complying with policy. Next slide, please. Policy Wonk has been in operation for over a year with 12,000 queries using about $250 in tokens. Policy Wonk even gets better without work on our part, for example, when OpenAI upgrades a model. Good software engineering principles still apply when making AI applications, but at the same time, you have to think about them differently. They are not completely deterministic, for example. We have a robust evaluation pipeline that synthetically generates policy-based questions and answers to those questions so that we can measure Policy Wonk's performance over time. We use the so-called RAG triad, where RAG stands for retrieval augmented generation, to evaluate answer relevancy, contextual relevancy, and faithfulness. This is combined into an overall score, which, as noted, we can use to look at both relative and absolute values. The industry considers an overall score of 0.75 to be solid. The range of AI tools and capabilities continues to increase. It's hard to keep up. Next slide, please. This summarizes our investment and return on Policy Wonk. As mentioned, the tool continues to get better, sometimes without a lot of effort on our part. We see a virtuous cycle of increasing return on decreasing effort. Thanks for your attention. I hope you find this and all the other AI tools presented here useful.
Thanks so much, Adam. And then last but certainly not least, we will hear from Access Aid from Anna and Krithik.
All right, we'll start with a quick intro. My name is Krithik and I work as a business analyst for admissions and financial aid in UCLA IT services. And I'll have Anna introduce herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Anna Ahearn, product manager for admissions and financial aid in UCLA's IT services.
All right, next slide, please. All right, AI is not the future, it's here. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you would be agreeing with this statement. We often hear that AI is the future, but the truth is it's already here. It's in the tools that we use every day that we quite transform how we work, communicate, and solve the problems. So we all have to remember AI is here to assist and not to replace. All right, next slide, please. Pass it to Anna.
So our tool, Access Aid, aimed to address several problems we observed through support tickets and a series of stakeholder interviews. This was an experimental project, and we aimed to solve account provisioning challenges for university IDs, admissions, student records, financial aid, and student accounting. A special shout out to our team members who are not presenting with us today, LaShawn Maddox, Vicky Hu, and Deepu Kaimal. We identified some specific challenge areas that needed attention. One, our online documentation was outdated, making it difficult for staff to follow a consistent, accurate provisioning process. We also saw clear evidence of teams not aligned on the request process. Each department had different procedures, which led to confusion and inefficiencies. It also led to delays, both in onboarding users to gain access to critical systems and offboarding users to remove their access to those systems. The staff was also pretty frustrated. They would ask the same question multiple times and experience sort of rerouting between multiple departments and errors during the process. All of this leads to risk for us as part of the account provisioning process as far as who has access and when can they get it when they need it. We felt AI was an opportunity to address these challenges because it could provide conversational support to answer staff queries. It can analyze and simplify really complex documentation. And it also lessens dependency on a few staff who might have institutional knowledge in decentralized departments that we're not always sure when they leave the university and in other departments. Next slide.
All right, ideas and exploration. So During this phase, we focused on understanding the real challenges that the users were facing. We gathered insights through stakeholders' feedback sessions and analyzed the trends to pinpoint the recurring pain points that they had. And one major source of inspiration was the Ahearn financial aid chatbot, which was a great example of how AI offers scalable and user-friendly support. So we explored how similarly the AI tools could address our challenge with UCLA's GPT pilot program as a foundation. And to ensure we weren't duplicating the efforts, we mapped out existing workflows and thoroughly reviewed the current documentation we had. And finally, we validated the concept through a series of discovering interviews, which helped confirm both the need and the potential impact of an AI-driven solution. Stakeholder leadership and alignment. As part of our early engagement efforts, we secured initial buy-ins from the ITS leadership by aligning our vision with the UCLA's Open AI pilot initiative. This support gave us the foundation that we need to move forward with confidence. To ground our solution in real user needs, we engaged the DSAs, that is the Departmental Security Administrators, to better understand the access challenges they face day by day. Their input was key in validating our direction and identifying the most valuable use cases. Execution and launch. Currently, it is work in progress. A custom GPT was designed for financial aid access, which is being developed and currently undergoing testing. And at the same time, we are building out documentation for other critical access systems to ensure they can be scaled and remain constant across all the use cases. One key area we are working on is aligning across teams to determine the final implementation with the platform, ensuring cross-functional agreement, which will be essential for a smooth and a sustainable launch. Next slide, please.
To ensure AI is used responsibly, we reference the UC Responsible AI principles. While all these principles are important, there were three key areas we focused on for this project. One was transparency, being able to know when AI tools are being used. In this case, users will go to a specific page to interact with the chatbot. Fairness and non-discrimination is another big one. We should be checking our AI tools for bias and discrimination. In this case, we're very focused on the process documentation, and through that, we're reaching out to multiple sources, multiple teams, and multiple people to get input on our documentation. And last, privacy and security. AI tools should be built to protect personal data and privacy. In this case, our AI won't have access to the account details or have the ability to create and remove accounts. It's answering questions about the overall process of account provisioning. And while these principles have guided our approach, implementing them effectively requires careful planning and execution.
All right. Okay, so the lessons learned. So one key takeaway from our experience so far is how essential clear structured documentation is, especially when training these AI tools. It is important to remember that AI isn't magic. It can only be as effective as the inputs we give. So that means we need to have a well-organized, up-to-date content and a commitment to continuous refinement, which are critical. One of the biggest challenges we encountered is the decentralization nature of access process across departments. And with responsibility spread out, it becomes difficult to maintain consistency in documentation. Addressing these issues will be crucial and we continue to evolve and scale this tool. And thank you, everybody.
Thanks so much, everybody. Now we've had an opportunity to hear from our three presenters today. You will have the opportunity to go and learn a little bit more about one of the AI tools that we heard a little bit about this morning by joining a breakout room. And then after we break, we will return together briefly to wrap up. So I want to thank our presenters today for taking the time to share their innovative and very successful tools with all of us today. A huge thank you to them. And finally, I just want to remind you to take a look at the AI labels that we'll be sharing out for each of the tools that were shared today. We really welcome your thoughts, not only on the tool itself, but on the AI label itself. What could we add as part of the AI Council to improve its utility? We look forward to hearing from you. And thank you for taking the time to learn more about AI at UC.